If you want full marks in GCSE Chemistry, you need to understand this properly. In this video, we'll be covering types of bonding for paper 1, made simple, clear, and exactly how the examiners expect it. Bonding is simply atoms joining together, but they're not doing this for fun. Atoms want to become more stable, and the way they do that is by getting a full outer shell of electrons. There are 3 types of bonding you need to know: ionic, covalent, and metallic. Everything in GCSE Chemistry links back to one of these. Ionic bonding happens when electrons are transferred. A metal loses electrons and becomes positively charged. A non-metal gains electrons and becomes negatively charged. And because opposite charges attract, they stick together. Let's look at sodium and chlorine. Sodium loses one electron to become Na+. Chlorine gains one electron to become Cl-. These opposite ions attract, forming an ionic bond. Ionic compounds don't just form pairs, they form a giant lattice structure. This is a structure repeating pattern of positive and negative ions, and the forces holding them together are very strong. This explains their properties. They have high melting and boiling points because those forces are strong. They conduct electricity when molten or dissolved because the ions can move, and they are hard but brittle. Covalent bonding is different. Instead of transferring electrons, atoms share electrons. This happens between nonmetals. Some covalent substances form small molecules like hydrogen, oxygen, or carbon dioxide. These molecules are small and separate from each other, and the forces between them are quite weak. So because the forces are weak, they have low melting and boiling points. They do not conduct electricity, and many are gases or liquids. But not all covalent substances are simple. Some form giant structures like diamond, graphite, and silicon dioxide. In diamond, each carbon is bonded to 4 others. This creates a very strong structure. That's why diamond has a very high melting point, and it does not conduct electricity. Graphite is quite different. Each carbon bonds to 3 others, forming layers. These layers can slide, which is why graphite is soft, and 1 electron from each carbon is free, so graphite can conduct electricity. Metallic bonding happens in metals. Metal atoms lose electrons to form positive ions. These electrons become delocalized. You can think of it as a sea of electrons, positive ions surrounded by moving electrons, and the attraction between them holds the structure together. This explains why metals conduct electricity, because electrons can move, have high melting points, and are malleable and ductile, meaning they can bend and stretch. Let's summarize. Ionic bonding transfers electrons, covalent bonding shares electrons, metallic bonding has a sea of electrons. If you remember this, you're already ahead of most students. Here's a classic exam question. Why does sodium chloride have a high melting point? This is because there are strong electrostatic forces between oppositely charged ions, and a lot of energy is needed to break them. Here are the mistakes most students make: saying ionic bonds are weak, forgetting the giant lattice, saying molecules conduct electricity, and mixing up graphite and diamond. Bonding explains everything: structure, properties, and behavior. If you master this topic, you unlock a huge number of marks. Pause the video, go back through anything you didn't understand, and remember, knowledge beats luck. So before you go, I put together something for you. This is a completely free grade 9 chemistry revision pack for this exact topic, and it's not just notes. It's exactly how to answer exam questions properly. Inside, you've got real exam style questions, full mark answers, and the common mistakes that students lose mark on every single year. Because the truth is, you can know the content and still lose marks in the exam. Most students revise, very few actually know how to answer questions properly. So if you want to get ahead, use the password, it's Mr. Knows Tutor, download it, and actually work through it. If you do it properly, you're already ahead of most students. Good luck.